You ever pull into your own driveway and just feel in your bones something's wrong? Not just the usual out of place, but the kind of upside down where you barely recognize your own life? That was me the day I rolled up to the old lake house I'd bought after Eleanor passed, hoping to find a little peace, a little space to put myself back together. Instead, I'm greeted by a whole row of catering vans parked along my gravel. Total strangers traipsing through the front hall. And right there on the mantel me wife's urn. Her name scrawled on a sticky note like an afterthought. That's when it hit me. This wasn't some innocent mix-up. It was war. And the enemy had a smile like a crocodile. There she was, Karen Marson, president of the HOA, flashing a toothy grin, waving a contract under my nose with what looked like my signature in black ink. I never signed a thing for her in my life. She's talking about community spirit and pre-approved events, like I just signed over my house to the neighborhood. It was then I realized grief wasn't my only problem. I was dealing with a full-blown predator. The type who sees a man knocked down by life and decides that's the best time to strike. What Karen didn't know was that I'd spent 3 decades in the courtroom, built homes from the ground up, and could read a contractor a liar from a mile away. That old mansion by the lake. I bought it because I figured if I was going to start over, it'd be in a place so tucked away, wrapped up in so many HOA rules. Nobody would bother me. I spent 6 months restoring every beam, every shingle, every inch kept a paper trail so thick you could use it as body armor. Permits, inspections, rental approvals, all of it just so no one could say I'd left a door open for trouble. Didn't matter. One Saturday, Karen emails with a sugar sweet. Welcome to the community. Note, asked to host a small party in my house. I reply polite, but blunt the place isn't ready. Wife's ashes are still here. I'm not in the mood for parties. I thought that was the end of it. But the next day, I run out to pick up with Stain, come back, and my property looks like a carnival. HOA signs staked in the grass. Strangers everywhere. Someone even in my kitchen unwrapping plates like they live there. I corner a caterer, demand to know what's going on. He just shows me his phone digital contract. My name. My signature. Except I'd never laid eyes on it before. Caterer says Karen sent it weeks ago. Nearly 100 people have RSVP'd. The feeling you ever get robbed. But the thief is waving a permission slip with your forged name on it? That's what it felt like. I didn't yell. I just locked the front gate behind everyone, looked them all dead in the eye, and said, "You're trespassing. Time to go." Then I called Karen. She answers all syrup and honey. "Don't make this difficult. Paul, the neighborhood is counting on you. Don't be selfish." That word selfish just rattled around in my head. I asked the caterer to send me the contract, and I forwarded it straight to my niece, Trish, the best paralegal in the state. While I waited, I dug through the file myself. That's when I noticed the metadata contract was supposedly signed that morning, but the digital fingerprint showed it was created weeks ago. Trish confirmed it plain as day. Digital forgery. Didn't even have time to confront her before the next attack. HOA sends a stiff email. Threatens $2,000 a day in fines for refusing an event they say I verbally agreed to. Jokes on me doorbell camera records every second. And Karen's never set foot on my porch. Lies piling up faster than a Florida thunderstorm. Then comes the twist. My neighbor, Jerry, grumpy old guy, allergic to HOA nonsense, sends me a forwarded email. Karen tells the whole board not to worry. She's got the keys. The hell she does. That's when I stopped feeling shocked and started feeling focused. Like the old days before a big case. I built a binder evidence. Timelines. Emails. Every bit of data lined up. Printed everything. Matched file data to email dates. Made sure there was no wiggle room. HOA meeting was a 3-ring circus. Karen paraded out some fake handshake agreement precedent. Said this is how the neighborhood always did things. I hit them with records. Showed them they've never once held private events without written consent. Her confidence cracked. Board members started to squirm. I just looked Karen right in the eye and said, "You can't vote against gravity, and forged contracts fall the same way." Dropped the mic, walked out, Jerry waiting in the hall to bump fists. But Karen wasn't done. A few days later, I get a formal apology in the mail, which turns out to be a release form asking me to say the whole thing was a misunderstanding exchange for them dropping the fines. Nice try. I scrawled "no deal" across the top and filed it with the rest of her lies. Next morning, glossy flyers show up in every mailbox in the neighborhood, painting me as the crank who broke his promise. Pure defamation. I took a deep breath and waited. Twist number 2 security alert on my phone. 2 strangers at my garage. Caught on video. Meeting up with Ed, the HOA treasurer. I can hear him mutter, "If he won't host, maybe we just cut the power on party day." Sabotage. That night, I called my buddy Dave, retired electrician, and we wired up solar backups. Lock boxes. Motion cams works. Let them try. Party day arrives. Confused guests milling in the street. DJ van. Food trucks. Karen in full glam. But the gates are locked and nobody's getting in. Police show up. I hand them my stack evidence. Contracts. Security logs. HOA flyers. Officers read everything. Turn to Karen and say, "It's a civil matter, ma'am." They hand my stuff back. Drive away. Karen's left standing in the street. Outplayed, but she still can't let it go. One last blast in email to every RSVP, calling me unstable. A danger. That's defamation. Plain and simple. Monday morning, I show up at the courthouse with my binder. File suit against the HOA. Karen. Ed. The work's trespass. Fraud. Defamation. Conspiracy. Courtroom's packed. Judge gives me 5 minutes. I only need 3. I dropped the forged contract, security footage, flyers, and Ed's recorded sabotage plot on the table. Judge looks at Karen's lawyer, shakes his head. Rules in my favor. $100. 000 judgment. The whole board on the hook. Karen's kingdom crumbles before she finishes her latte. Aftermath? Quiet. HOA has to assess everyone, including me, but honestly, it felt like a refund. Karen resigns. Jerry, to his horror, is roped into being president. His first act? No HOA events on private property without notarized. Ironclad consent. About time. Me. I finish Eleanor's bookshelf. Her favorite novels. Her urn. Right by my window. Sometimes I catch my reflection. Remember that the only thing that stops a bully is the truth steady and unflinching. You don't have to shout when the facts are louder than any lie. Now, with the gate locked, cameras up, and peace restored, I finally got what I paid for. Not just quiet, but respect. So, what would you have done? Was I too harsh, or was this the only way to get justice? Drop your story in the comments. Let's hear how you handled your own HOA horror stories or bullies of any kind. Because sometimes it only takes 3 minutes in court, but the lesson that sticks around for a lifetime.